Hey guys, welcome back to the Championship Prediction League. I'm delighted to be joined by Oli Mann for this week. Game week 31, getting closer to the end of the season rapidly. And Oli, well, good news and bad news for us from midweek because myself, you, and Gab did do our midweek Championship predictions for just the 4 games, which turned out to be 3 because Portsmouth can't get a game on when there's a bit of rain. And we did better in the midweek 3 games than we did in an entire weekend of fixtures. I got 4 points, you got 4 points. Gab got 5, puts me on 129. Nice little 20-point lead over you on 109. Gab on 105 and slowly closing the gap. So let's jump straight into this weekend's fixtures. Let's not forget, it's 5 points for a correct score with 5 goals or more. It's 3 points for correct score and 1 point for a correct result. Charlton QPR on Friday night, a bit of a London derby this one. QPR beat Coventry last time out. Charlton beat Leicester. 2 winners going into this one. Oli, I'm on the fence for this one. How about you, mate?
Yeah, it's a really tricky one, but I come back to QPR's away form because I think QPR's away form is really quite poor. I think it's 7 without a win away from home for them at the moment. And we all know that Charlton, their entire sort of fight for survival to stay up in the Championship is built on their home form. It's built on being great at the Valley and making sure that they can just hurt teams when they bring them there. And that will be enough to keep them up this year. I do believe that. I've said for a few weeks that I thought Charlton would be the ones to go down, but I think they've probably shown enough fight in the last few weeks that I do think they'll get enough points and the home form will keep them up. And actually, as much as it's a little bit of a pick 'em, I actually think it's a straightforward pick for me. I'm going 1-0 to Charlton. I think this is a home win.
I've gone 1-1 just because I was reasonably impressed with QPR, the way they beat Coventry last time out. Obviously, Coventry's struggling at the moment, but Rich Kone's a brilliant striker, and they have got a lot of injuries as well. So you might be right, but I'm going to give QPR a point and go for a 1-1. Make sure you get your score predictions down in the comments down below. Like and subscribe while you're there. Norwich Blackburn should be rather more straightforward, even though Blackburn edged over the line against Sheffield Wednesday in midweek, taking themselves out of the relegation zone. But I'm expecting a big performance here from Norwich. Massively impressed with them. They are a really good team. I think they're near playoff form since Philip Clement came in. So I'm going to go for a 3-0 Norwich win. No surprises here. How about you, mate?
3-0 Norwich win, I think, is the only way that we can look at this one. I think they're just a really good side. They've gone toe-to-toe with Cov and Boro. I think they would probably say that they maybe deserved a point at Boro the other day. And so, yeah, I just think they're a much better team. Blackburn look like a team in free fall. To me, I know they've changed manager, and it'll be interesting to see if that has an impact. Some people might say, oh, he's come in and he's won a game, but come on. So, yeah, very much, I think we look at this one, and until I see different, I think Blackburn are just a poor side at the moment, and Norwich are a very good one. So, yeah, I think a 3-0 Norwich win is a fair bet.
You're copying me again here. You need to do different, mate, if you're going to catch up these points, aren't you? I mean, next up, we have got Southampton versus Watford. Very interesting indeed. It's 2-2 is the score I've gone for, throwing it out there early on. I can't call Tondereka at Southampton. They're so difficult to predict right now. They went and beat Stoke. No one really saw that coming. I certainly didn't see it coming. They've got some talented players in there. Watford, Javi Gracia's left. We don't know what's happening there. They got a good point at Hull maybe and should have won that game in midweek. So I'm absolutely on the fence for this one. I think there'll be goals. 2-2, Ollie.
Yeah, I mean, should have beat Hull but couldn't score. Where have we seen that before? But yeah, I think this one for me is all about Watford because on any normal week, this is played 2 weeks ago. We backed Watford to win all day, every day. We were so confident with where they were going to be. I think me, you, Gab and Johnny were all very bullish that they'd finish in the top 4, that they would kick on, and they'd be the team who cemented themselves in the playoffs. Basically, we thought Watford would do exactly what Hull have done over the last 3 or 4 weeks. But now the manager's gone. They're in a tailspin in terms of their form. They just look like a club that almost are ready to implode again. It's bizarre how often Watford are able to do this, while Southampton have just had a mini run of form. I think it's 3 unbeaten. They've won 2 of those games. They seem to be getting a bit of confidence. And actually, I think what's gone under the radar is the importance of Ross Stewart coming back into this side. The impact that he has as a striker, he links the play well. He's always a threat. He's a danger in behind. I think if he can stay fit, this Southampton side are just a much better football team. And so I'm going to back a Southampton win here. I'm going to say they're going to win 2-0, and I'm going to say that Ross Stewart is going to score.
Oh, how about Derby?
Chucking extras out there.
Yeah. I mean, you don't get any extra points for it, but why not? Derby Ipswich, mate. You can start on this one.
Ipswich have only won 2 of their last 8 away games. And the only 2 teams that they've beat away from home during that run is Hull and Coventry. They are a weird team. They obviously turn up against those at the top of the division, but they are really struggling to break down some of the teams further down the division. Maybe they sit in a low block. Maybe it's just that it's a scrappy game. Maybe Ipswich themselves are getting their setup wrong. But something is holding them back away from home right now. And if there was a manager who I think can take advantage of that, John Eustace is just good at it. He's fantastic at forcing big teams into a scrappy game that's sort of played in the margins. I think there'll probably be quite a low ball time on in play percentage for this one. And they will frustrate Ipswich like crazy. I think it'll be a real test. If Ipswich can come through it and win this game, that sets them up fantastically to try and get a bit of momentum going at the playoffs. But I've got my doubts, and I'm going to back a 2-1 Derby win.
Oh, I'd love that, mate. Absolutely love Ipswich to drop a few more points. I've gone for a 1-1. I don't know what it is about Derby at home. Away from home, best team in the Championship on a points per game basis. Hammered Bristol City 5-0 in a superb performance on Friday night. Ipswich are good, but they're missing Marcelino Nunes, I think, for a couple more weeks, and that is a big issue for them. So I'm absolutely on the fence. 1-1 is what I've gone for. I think there'll be goals. I think they'll both be relatively satisfied with a point in that fixture. Preston, Portsmouth. I think I'm going to back a rare Portsmouth away win. I think that win over West Brom is absolutely massive. 3-0. Big confidence boost out the relegation zone. I don't think anyone's really expecting them to drop into the bottom 3 now. Preston, winless in 5 in all competitions, sliding away from playoff contention. I'm always negative on Preston. I always say it every week. Preston 0, Portsmouth 1. This is a big win coming for Pompey.
That would be massive if Portsmouth can get that, especially after today's news that I know we'll come to a little bit later on. But that would be a huge result for Portsmouth and would give them a massive step towards safety and getting themselves out of some of this relegation trouble they're in. But for me, Preston, I mean, it's just comfortable, isn't it? This is just gravity calling. Hi, Preston. 13th's been missing you. Do you fancy it? And so they're just slowly edging their way back to the warm, comfortable hug of 13th place in the Championship. It's where they belong, and we all will feel more comfortable when they are sat there just doing what they do. I do, though, think I'm going to back Heckingbottom because I like him. I think he's a great manager. I think if anyone can turn around a poor run, he is the kind of manager I would believe in to do it. I think he can sort of really work with these players. I'm going to back a home win because I really don't like Portsmouth away from home. I think if they're ever not at Fratton Park, I find it really hard to back them getting any kind of points, to be honest. So, yeah, despite the potential terrible run that Preston are on, I'm going to go for a 1-0 home win here.
Ooh. And we come to Leicester City, who have been deducted 6 points and now sit just above that relegation zone. I've been saying they're going down all season. Is it actually going to come to fruition? I'll probably stick another video on the channel on that at some point. But an away game at Birmingham this weekend doesn't look like life is getting any easier because Chris Davis's men have learned how to win away from home and been very, very good at home all season. They are unbeaten in 5 in the league. They're 5 points behind 6th place Wrexham as we record. I don't think there's any danger of them losing this game or even dropping points in it. I'm going to get more bullish on Birmingham as the season progresses, I think. I think they will charge towards the playoff places. Whether they've left it too late, we'll have to wait and see. Birmingham 2, Leicester 0. Ollie.
Yeah, I think big questions to answer now for Leicester. And I think this is where I've been at with Leicester for so long now is I'm questioning the mentality of the squad. They are better than this. You look at them man for man, the players through this team, you look at the midfield, you look at their attacking options, the defense, they are better than this. They just should not be in the position they're in. And so for me, that mentality has been dragging them down. It's why they've not been able to kick on. They've not been able to get any positive momentum throughout this season. They've now been given an extra layer of adversity. You are joint on points, I believe now, with the bottom 3, with West Brom. Can they pick up any kind of form? Now, we know they've got talent in the squad. We know that they potentially can score a lot of goals. And I'm going to go for some bonus points here because I agree with you. I think Birmingham are the better team. I think Birmingham win this game. But I think we're going to see some signs of life for the first time in a few weeks from Leicester. I'm going to back a 3-2 Birmingham win.
Wow. Need the bonus points. He's gone for it and he's gone big.
Go big.
I mean, the team in the relegation zone now is who we come to next. West Brom versus Stoke. And West Brom look absolutely dreadful right now. Alarm bells should be ringing at that football club. Really in danger going down. Blackburn's midweek win took the Rovers above them. Eric Ramsey, I don't know. His team looked like they're all over the show. That performance at Pompey was a disgrace. I think it was one shot on target and an XG of like 0.09. There was the issues at the end with the fans and Isaac Price arguing a little bit that we saw as well. It's just negativity running throughout that club right now. As a result, I will back Stoke to win this game and heap the misery on West Brom and Eric Ramsey. I think first goal is absolutely vital. I think if Stoke get it, it's absolutely catastrophic, really bad for West Brom. And I'm going to go for them to keep a clean sheet and get a 2-0 away win, which would just put them further into the mire. You with me, or do you think West Brom can turn it around, Ollie?
I'm with you, because they are at huge risk of relegation, West Brom, because it just feels toxic. And the last thing you want after you've had that kind of experience is to play against a team like Stoke, who we know are really solid defensively, have got really good attacking flair running throughout their team, who can hurt you in a number of different ways. I just don't see what West Brom are trying to do. I wouldn't be shocked. It sounds bizarre, but I wouldn't be shocked if there is another change of manager at West Brom, maybe even before the end of February, if this doesn't improve very, very quickly, because they've got to do something to try and save themselves. Because right now, League One looks not just realistic, but likely in terms of how they're performing, what they're getting out of this squad. They should be better than this, and they're just not. And I think that is a really worrying place to be. I'm going to back a 3-0 Stoke win, because I think after that first goal, it will be toxic and the players will hide. And I think Stoke will really have a bit of fun during that time. All the goals in the second half.
Be interesting to see a team like West Brom and Blackburn and the team in the relegation zone should be boosted by this Leicester points deduction. It's given them a bit of a lifeline. Can they go and take advantage of it? I'm not too sure. Wrexham Millwall up next, mate, and two teams that I've been pretty big on all season. Very tough one to predict this.
Yeah, low-key game of the weekend, I think. If I was picking one, well, maybe even high key. I mean, even just if I was picking one to watch, like I think this will be high intensity, great tempo game of football. Two teams who are going after each other, trying to create chances, trying to score goals. I think we will see a lot of action all around. I just think this one's going to be good. I think I can't pick them. If I'm honest, I can't pick them. I don't know who's going to win this. I think it's two good teams who are having fantastic seasons, really going after each other. I'm going to sit on a fence for a fantastic game of football that finishes 2-2.
That'd be a cracker. Two teams in the playoffs. Wrexham have won back-to-back league games, but I don't know if those results are a bit not quite what they look like. Remember, they beat QPR with 2 goals in injury time after they went down to 10 men, and they only just scraped past Sheffield Wednesday as well, which wasn't a good performance. I think they could come unstuck here against a very strong Millwall outfit, and for that reason, I'm going Wrexham 1, Millwall 2, and for a rarity this season, backing Wrexham to lose at home. Hull Bristol City. Hull couldn't take full advantage of that midweek game in hand, drawing 0-0 against Watford in a poor performance for them, mate. And you don't know where to stand on Hull right now. I know that. I think they will beat Bristol City. I think Bristol City are on a downward trajectory. They've lost Zach Viner to Wrexham. They've lost Anis Mehmeti to Ipswich. Not a good window for them. I think their playoff hopes are going to fade as we approach like the final third of the season. So I'm going to go for Hull 2, Bristol City 1. How about you, mate?
I mean, at this stage, just get on board, innit? You know what I mean? I feel like I'm at the point now where I've got to just get on board, because what else can you do other than get on board?
You know they'll lose every week now. You're on board.
Yeah, almost certainly. But if I'm a Hull fan, I'm so sorry. Like, you don't want me on your side, but I don't know what else I can do. I mean, against Watford midweek, Watford have had 16 shots. I think it's 1.5 XG. They've had 2 big chances. No goals. Of course there's no goals, because you just can't score against the voodoo that's in charge of Hull's net right now. And so Hull will win this game. Do I think that they'll be dominant and they'll win it really easily? No, but I think the score will then look completely unrepresentative. I'm going to say 3-1 to Hull, because I think they win, and that's just what they do.
The pressure is on for league leaders, and I'm not sure how much longer we'll say that for. League leaders, Coventry, on goal difference right now. 2 defeats in a row. No clean sheets in 8. Really worrying stuff at the back for Cov. They have signed on Yeka. Hopefully that'll help things out, with my fingers crossed. A home game against Oxford, you have to win it if you want to get promoted from the Championship. Do I think we'll do it? Yes, in the most unconvincing yes you could possibly give. I've gone 2-1. Coventry can't keep a clean sheet to save their life. Matt Bloomfield has done a good job at Oxford. I think it'll be a closer game than a lot are expecting. So I'll go in for a 2-1, mate. How about you?
I saw Oxford in the flesh Tuesday night. Obviously, they were at Bramall Lane. I think they're functional. I think they're competitive, but I just don't know what they've got going forwards. I think they rely so much on Plaheta and whether or not he can create with his pace. If he doesn't, I really struggle to see where they would create a chance. Against United, we gave them a goal ultimately through some really, really poor goalkeeping. It just gives them the 1-0 lead, but then they couldn't hang on to it. And I saw a team there that had a lot of effort, but who I think will be in big, big relegation trouble, shall we say, come the end of the season, because I just don't think they've got enough in that squad to be able to get themselves out of the mess that they're in right now. Coventry, they got let off midweek. They got let off last weekend. Ipswich's poor turn of form has sort of loosened the screw, shall we say. I think they'll probably feel a little bit of freedom. They maybe go into this game knowing what the Ipswich result will be, knowing that Boro don't play till Monday, gives an opportunity for a really big confidence boost. I'm going to back a 2-0 home win. I think you'll get the clean sheet against a team who aren't great going forwards. And I think that's just the kind of result that Cov need to settle the ship.
Absolutely. Swansea, Sheffield Wednesday. We never spend any time really talking about Sheffield Wednesday games for good reason. All I'll point out is that they haven't scored since Boxing Day. That's 9 matches in a row. They're getting worse. Barry Bannon's gone. I think it's very likely Sheffield Wednesday might not score another goal this season. Maybe they'll score 3 more goals from now until the end of the season. Swansea 2, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Simple.
Yeah, agreed. I don't think there's much point focusing on it for too long. I've said 2-0 to Swansea as well. I think Wednesday do really well to be competitive, to keep games tight. They just don't have the quality at the moment. They've got no depth off the bench. They run out of legs as time goes on. Obviously, on the horizon, I'm never going to make the prediction they won't score again. I'm not even going to make the prediction they won't win again because we play them soon. And that's enough for me to know that I'm a jinx. So I think they'll lose this one 2-0, but I think they're doing really well.
Without a doubt, game of the weekend comes on Monday night. We bigged up Wrexham Millwall, but this is blockbuster stuff. Sheffield United versus Middlesbrough. I'm sure you're well aware, Mr. Oli Mann, but Middlesbrough are joint top of the form table in the last 15 games, having amassed 29 points with Sheffield United. Chris Wilder's boys nearly averaging 2 points a game, charging towards those playoff places. Another win in midweek. Gus Hamer looking like an absolute dream that I always knew he was. And I'm really hoping you can take some points off Middlesbrough here and stop them winning 6 games in a row. I've gone for a really entertaining 2-2 draw with my fingers crossed that the Blades can take something off a Middlesbrough side that look like the best team in the league right now. How about you, mate?
Yeah, I mean, where do you start? United are unbeaten in the league at Bramall Lane. We've scored at least 3 goals in 7 of our last 8 games at Bramall Lane, which is just insane. We've been going goal crazy whenever anybody comes to the lane at the moment. We've completely sort of got rid of any fears of relegation. They're well in the rearview mirror, and it is very much a conversation now of, have we got enough time to make up the gap to the playoffs, or are we going to run out of games? Knowing United's history, we'll run out of games. But other than that, we've got to hope, we've got to believe in it right now because we look like a fantastic team. I think right now we are one of the best 3-4 teams in the division. And I think the stats, the information all backs that up. Patrick Bamford's a huge loss. Trying to account for that is really, really difficult. It's a massive drop-off when Cannon or Campbell start for us at the moment. And so that is an area of concern. But the midfield has got a lot of reinforcements. Rothwell or Phillips, that could be an unbelievably good midfield. It might not be because Phillips might be rubbish, but he might be incredible. And we have to believe in the hope. But yeah, Boro look good, don't they? They look like the best team in the Championship right now. They are flying, 5 wins in a row, as you say. I think we'll learn a lot about both teams here. If United win it, then I'll be betting the farm on the playoffs. If Boro win it, I think that probably ends any dream that we've got at this stage because we'd have to be almost perfect till the end of the year. And I think it really sets up their credentials to not just get promoted, but potentially go on and win the Championship. I also sit on the fence. I'll go for an even better game than you, and I will back Sheffield United 3, as always. But for this one, I'll back Boro 3 as well.
What a game that'll be. And also, we must look forward to next Monday, Coventry versus Middlesbrough at the CBS Arena. So if Middlesbrough make it 6 in a row and then go and beat Coventry, that is title in
Yeah.
one of their hands. Unbelievable stuff. Massive game coming up next Monday. Ollie, thank you very much for joining me, mate. We will reconvene next week to see how we got on here, and hopefully I can keep my place at the top of the league. Hope you enjoy Sheff United versus Middlesbrough on Monday night. Guys, get your comments down in the thoughts below. Is your team going to win this weekend? Please do like and subscribe while you're there, and we'll see you next time.